If you are hearing this message, then you must understand something that will change the way you see your past. Every person who walked away from you, every friend who disappeared, every relationship that ended without explanation, it was not random, it was not coincidence, it was not cruel fate, it was me. I removed them, I pulled them out of your life before they could poison the destiny I planted inside you. You thought you were abandoned, but you were protected. You thought you were rejected, but you were redirected. You cried through those lonely nights, asking why everyone left, but I was standing in the doorway, blocking those who would have destroyed you if they had stayed. Listen carefully. Not everyone who walks with you is walking toward your purpose. Some are walking toward their own agenda. Some carry jealousy disguised as friendship. Some hold resentment wrapped in smiles. And I, the one who formed you, the one who knows the end from the beginning, I saw what you could not see. I saw the poison in their words. I saw the trap in their loyalty. I saw the delay in their presence. So I removed them, not to hurt you, but to save you. You see, there are people who can only walk with you to a certain point. Beyond that point, they become anchors, not allies. They become weight, not wings. And when I am ready to elevate you, when I am preparing to open doors you never imagined, I cannot allow dead weight to hold you down. So I cut the ropes. I severed the ties. I caused the distance. And yes, it hurt. Yes, you felt the sting of their absence. But that pain was not punishment. It was purification. You must understand this truth. I love you too much to let the wrong people stay in your life. I am too intentional with your destiny to allow distractions to linger. Every person I remove is a door I am closing so that the greater door can open. Every friendship I dissolve is a space I am clearing so that divine connections can enter. You thought you lost something, but I was making room for something greater. Now let me tell you what you did not see. While you were crying over their departure, I was shielding you from their betrayal. While you were wondering why they grew distant, I was protecting you from the damage they would have caused. Some of those people you miss, they were planning to use you. Some of those friends you long for, they were already speaking against you in secret. Some of those voices you trusted, they were planting seeds of doubt in your mind, but I saw it. I saw the future where they stayed. And in that future, you were broken, manipulated, drained. So I intervened. I made them uncomfortable around you. I caused misunderstandings. I allowed offense to rise, not because I am cruel, but because I am protective. There are seasons in your life where isolation is not loneliness. It is divine strategy. I pull you away from the crowd because the crowd cannot go where I am taking you. I silence the voices around you because those voices were drowning out my voice. I create space in your life because that space is sacred ground where I can do my deepest work in you. You cannot hear me clearly when you are surrounded by noise. You cannot see my direction when you are distracted by people who pull you in every direction. So I remove the noise, I eliminate the distractions, I clear the path. And yes, it feels like loss. Yes, it feels like rejection. But one day you will look back and realize that what felt like the worst moment of your life was actually the moment I saved your life. The person you thought you needed, they were the very person who would have delayed your breakthrough. The friendship you mourned, it was the friendship that would have drained your anointing. The relationship you could not let go of, it was the relationship I had to pry from your hands because it was crushing your calling. I do not remove people because I am harsh. I remove them because I am holy. I do not separate you from others to isolate you. I separate you to consecrate you. There is a difference between being alone and being set apart. Being alone is emptiness. Being set apart is preparation. And right now, you are not alone. You are set apart. You are being prepared for something so significant that the wrong people in your life would sabotage it before it even begins. Think about this. If I had allowed them to stay, where would you be now? Would you still be stuck in cycles of drama? Would you still be pouring energy into people who gave nothing back? Would you still be compromising your peace to keep the peace with those who never valued you? I removed them so you could rise. I caused the separation so you could step into your true identity. I closed that chapter so the next chapter could be written without interference. You have been asking me, God, why do I always end up alone? And I am answering you now. You end up alone because I am clearing your life of counterfeits so I can bring you the real. You end up alone because I refuse to let mediocre relationships occupy the space reserved for divine connections. You end up alone because I am preparing you to walk with kings, and kings do not walk with crowds. They walk with counsel, and I am your counsel. Now hear this. There are people I removed who will try to come back. They will reach out. They will apologize. They will say they miss you. But do not be fooled. I did not remove them so you could let them back in. I removed them because their season in your life is over. Do not resurrect what I have buried. Do not reopen doors I have sealed. If I allowed them to return, you would go backward, not forward. You would repeat old cycles, not enter new dimensions. Trust my wisdom. Trust my timing. Trust my removal. Some of you are still holding on to people I told you to release. You are still hoping for reconciliation with those I called you to separate from. You are still praying for restoration of relationships I deliberately destroyed. But I am telling you now, let them go. Stop trying to fix what I broke. Stop trying to rebuild what I tore down. I did not make a mistake. I made a move. And that move was mercy. Mercy. The enemy wants you to believe that isolation is a curse. He wants you to feel forgotten, overlooked, unwanted. But isolation in my hands is not a curse. It is a classroom. It is where I teach you things that cannot be learned in crowds. It is where I reveal truths that cannot be heard in noise. It is where I shape your character, sharpen your discernment, and deepen your dependence on me. When I isolate you, I am not abandoning you. I am upgrading you. Let me speak to the pain you have carried. The pain of being misunderstood. The pain of being left behind. The pain of watching people you love turn into strangers. That pain is real. I do not dismiss it. But I am asking you to see it differently. That pain is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that something is right with your destiny. The right people do not leave. The wrong people cannot stay. And everyone who left, they left because they could not handle where I am taking you. You see, there is a spiritual weight that comes with carrying my purpose. Not everyone can bear it. Not everyone can stand in the atmosphere I create around my chosen ones. When I begin to shift your life, when I begin to elevate your spirit, when I begin to sharpen your discernment, it creates a frequency that only certain people can tolerate. Those who are not aligned with that frequency will feel uncomfortable in your presence. They will not even understand why. They will just know that something feels different. And instead of rising to meet you at that level, they will retreat, they will pull back, they will disappear. And this is not rejection, this is realignment. I want you to understand something about spiritual seasons. Every season requires a different version of you. And every version of you requires different people around you. The people who fit your winter season cannot survive your spring season. The relationships that made sense in your valley do not make sense on your mountain. And when I transition you from one season to another, I must also transition the people around you. Some will transition with you, most will not. And that is by design, because I am not just changing your location, I am changing your frequency. I am not just opening new doors, I am closing old cycles. I am not just giving you new opportunities, I am giving you a new identity. And your new identity cannot coexist with your old connections. Many of you have been confused because the people who left were good people. They were not toxic, they were not evil, they were not abusive. They were just not yours to carry into the next season. And this is where many miss my plan. You think that if someone is kind, they should stay. You think that if someone has history with you, they deserve access to your future. But kindness does not equal assignment. History does not equal destiny. Just because someone was with you in your past does not mean they are called to your future. I honor what they contributed. I recognize the role they played, but I also know when their role is complete. And when it is complete, I remove them with grace, even if it feels like pain to you. There are some separations that feel like death. And in a way, they are the death of all patterns, the death of all dependencies, the death of all versions of yourself that those people knew. You cannot become who I am calling you to be while still holding on to who you used to be. And the people who only knew the old you, They will not recognize the new you. They will resist your growth. They will question your changes. They will try to remind you of who you were, hoping to pull you back into who you are no longer. That is why I removed them. Not because they are bad, but because they are barriers to your becoming. You were not rejected. You were redirected. You were not abandoned. You were protected. You were not alone. You were being aligned. And now, as you stand in this place of solitude, I want you to stop mourning the people I removed and start thanking me for the disaster I prevented. Because if they had stayed, you would not be standing, you would be shattered. There is something you must understand about destiny. It is fragile in its early stages. It is like a seed buried underground. It needs the right environment to grow. The wrong voices can kill it. The wrong relationships can delay it. The wrong influences can distort it. That is why I guard your destiny so fiercely. That is why I am so intentional about who stays and who goes. I cannot allow anyone to trample the seed I planted in you. I cannot allow anyone to poison the soil of your future. So I remove them before they even realize the damage they were about to cause. And here is the mystery. The very people I removed, they do not even know that I removed. They think they made a choice. They think they walked away on their own. But I orchestrated the distance. I caused the discomfort. I allowed the misunderstanding. Because I knew that if I did not intervene, you would stay connected out of loyalty, out of history, out of guilt. And that connection would become a chain. So I broke it. I set you free, even when you did not want to be free. Now I want you to shift your perspective. Stop replaying the moments they left. Stop analyzing what went wrong. Stop blaming yourself for relationships that ended. It was not you. It was me. I ended it. And I ended it with precision, with purpose, with protection. I do not make mistakes with your life. Every exit was intentional. Every goodbye was divine. Every closed door was my hand shutting what needed to be shut. Some of you need to hear this. The person you are still crying over, they were never meant to stay. The friend you are still trying to reach, they were only assigned to a season. The relationship you are still holding on to, it expired long before it ended. And the reason you cannot move forward is because you are still trying to drag the past into your future. But I am calling you to release it. Release them. Release the hurt. Release the confusion. Release the need for closure. I am your closure. My decision to remove them is your answer. Let me take you deeper. There are levels of intimacy in relationships. There are acquaintances, friends, close friends, and covenant connections. Most people you encounter in life will remain acquaintances. Some will become friends. A few will become close friends. But covenant connections, those are rare. Those are the ones I send, and I protect those with everything in me. That is why I remove those who are not covenant. They do not have the capacity to honor what I am building in you. They do not have the maturity to handle the weight of your calling. They do not have the vision to see what I see in you, so I remove them before they minimize you, mock you, or drain you. And here is what many do not understand. The absence of people is not the absence of love. It is the presence of divine order. I love you enough to reorganize your life. I love you enough to make hard decisions on your behalf. I love you enough to be the villain in your story if it means you become the victor in your destiny. So yes, I removed them. And I would do it again because your future is worth more than your comfort. Your purpose is greater than your pain. And I will not let anyone, no matter how much you love them, stand in the way of what I have promised you. Let me reveal something to you that you have not considered. Every person I removed was occupying space that belonged to someone else. There are divine connections I have been trying to send to you, but I could not send them because your life was crowded with the wrong people. You were giving your time to those who did not value it. You were pouring energy into relationships that were not reciprocating. You were investing in people who were withdrawing from you. And all the while, the right people were waiting in the wings, unable to enter because there was no room for them. This is why I had to intervene. This is why I had to force the exits, because you would never have created the space on your own. You are too loyal. You are too compassionate. You are too hopeful. You keep believing that people will change, that relationships will improve, that time will heal what is broken. But I see what you do not see. I see that some things are not meant to be healed. Some relationships are not meant to be restored. Some people are not meant to change, at least not in your presence. And if I wait for you to figure this out on your own, you will waste years trying to fix what I have already declared finished. So I move with holy aggression. I disrupt the comfort. I disturb the familiarity. I create a discomfort that leads to separation, and yes, it hurts. Yes, you feel abandoned. Yes, you question my love. But one day when you are standing in the fullness of your purpose, surrounded by the right people, walking in the peace I promised, you will look back and thank me for every person I removed. You will see that what felt like loss was actually gain. What felt like endings were actually new beginnings. What felt like rejection was actually divine protection. I need you to hear this because some of you are still trying to go back. You are still reaching out to people I told you to release. You are still hoping for reconciliation with those I called you to separate from. You are still checking their social media, still thinking about them, still wondering if maybe, just maybe, things could be different. But I am telling you now with clarity and finality, stop looking back. What I have closed for a reason. What I have ended with purpose. And if you keep trying to resurrect what I buried, you will delay your own resurrection. There is a time to fight for relationships, and there is a time to let them go. And when I remove someone, it means their time is up. It means their season has expired. It means their assignment in your life is complete. Honoring that removal is honoring my will. Accepting that separation is accepting my wisdom. Letting go is not giving up. It is growing up. It is maturing into the understanding that not everyone is meant to stay, and that is okay. In fact, it is more than okay. It is necessary. Now, let me address something else. Some of you feel guilty for the people I removed. You think you should have fought harder to keep them. You think you should have been more patient, more forgiving, more accommodating. But I am telling you, guilt is a trap. It keeps you bound to the past. It keeps you second-guessing my decisions. But I did not ask you to hold on. I asked you to let go. I did not ask you to fight for them. I asked you to trust me. And trust me in surrendering control. Trust means accepting that I know what you do not know. Trust means believing that my removal is better than your retention. Here is the truth. If I had to force someone out of your life, it is because they refuse to live on their own. It is because their attachment to you was not love. It was control. It was dependency. It was access to something you carry that they wanted to use. But I do not allow users near my chosen ones. I do not allow manipulators near my anointed. I do not allow energy vampires near those I am preparing for greatness. So I create distance. I build walls. I shut doors. And those who belong will always find a way back. Those who do not belong will fade into the background. You need to know this. The people I removed are not your enemies. They are simply not your assignment. They have their own journey. They have their own lessons. They have their own destiny. But their path and your path were not meant to merge forever. They were meant to intersect for a moment, teach you something, and then diverge. And now you are walking in one direction, and they are walking in another. And that is okay. That is divine design. Not everyone is meant to finish the journey with you. Some are only meant to walk part of the way. Let me give you a picture. Imagine you are climbing a mountain. At the base, there are many people. As you climb higher, the crowd thins. At the peak, there are very few. That is the journey of destiny. The higher you go, the fewer people will be with you. Not because they are bad people, but because they were not built for the altitude. They were not equipped for the climb. They were not called to the summit. And if you try to carry them up with you, you will exhaust yourself and never reach the top. So I lighten your load. I remove the weight. I clear the path so you can ascend without hindrance. And when you finally reach the place I have prepared for you, you will understand why the journey required so much solitude. You will understand why the path was so narrow. You will understand why so many could not walk with you. Because what I am giving you at the top is so sacred, so powerful, so significant, that only those with the right heart, the right motive, and the right spirit can be trusted with it. And I have been removing everyone who does not qualify. Now, let me speak to your future. The people I'm bringing into your life will be different. They will not drain you. They will refuel you. They will not compete with you. They will celebrate you. They will not question your calling. They will affirm it. They will not pull you down. They will push you forward. And you will know they are from me, because their presence will bring peace, not confusion. Their words will bring clarity, not chaos. Their loyalty will bring strength, not stress. These are the ones I have been reserving for you. But I could not bring them in while the wrong ones were still there. So I made space. I cleared the room. And now divine connections are on the way. But here is what you must understand about these new connections. They will not come in the way the old ones did. The old relationships were formed out of convenience, proximity, mutual need. The new relationships will be formed out of divine assignment, spiritual alignment, and kingdom purpose. The old relationships made you feel obligated. The new relationships will make you feel free. The old relationships required you to shrink. The new relationships will invite you to expand. The old relationships drained your anointing. The new relationships will increase your authority. When I send the right people, you will not have to chase them. You will not have to convince them of your word. You will not have to perform to keep their attention. They will see you clearly because I will open their eyes. They will value you deeply because I will give them discernment. They will honor you consistently because I will align their hearts with my purpose for you. These are covenant connections. These are divine assignments. These are the people who were created to lock arms with you, to build with you, to contend with you, to see you through to the finish line. But these people cannot come prematurely. They cannot enter while you are still entangled with the wrong ones. They cannot arrive while you are still emotionally tied to those who left. That is why I am asking you to do the inner work. I am asking you to heal. I am asking you to forgive. I am asking you to release, not for their sake, but for yours. Because unforgiveness is a blockage. Bitterness is a barrier. Resentment is a delay. And as long as you hold on to the pain of who left, you cannot receive the blessing of who is coming. I have been waiting for you to empty your hands. I have been waiting for you to create space in your heart. I have been waiting for you to stop looking back so you can finally see forward. And the moment you release the past, the moment you surrender the pain, the moment you trust my process fully, that is the moment I release the connections I have been holding in reserve. They are ready. They have been prayed up, prepared, and positioned. They are just waiting for you to be ready to receive them. And when they come, you will understand why the wait was necessary. You will understand why I could not send them sooner. You will understand that the version of you that lost the old relationships was not the version that could sustain the new ones. I had to break you down to build you back up. I had to strip you to strengthen you. I had to isolate you to prepare you. Because the connections I am bringing require a version of you that can handle them with wisdom, maturity, and spiritual depth. But you must do something. You must stop looking back. You must stop replaying old conversations. You must stop checking on people who no longer check on you. You must stop waiting for apologies that will never come. You must close the door in your heart that you keep leaving open. I removed them from your life, but you have not removed them from your mind. And as long as they occupy mental space, they are still influencing your present. So evict them, release them, let them go completely, not with bitterness, but with blessing. Wish them well and walk away, because your future is waiting and it cannot begin until you stop living in the past. Here is the final word I want to leave with you. I removed them before they could destroy your destiny, but I also removed them so you could discover who you are without them. For too long, you have defined yourself by your relationships. You have measured your worth by who stayed and who left. But I am teaching you that your identity is not tied to people. Your value is not determined by who chooses you. Your purpose is not dependent on who walks with you. You are mine, and that is enough. This is the most critical lesson of this season. You have been shaped by the opinions of others for so long that you forgot who you were before they told you who to be. You have been performing, adapting, adjusting, trying to fit into spaces that were never designed for you. And in the process, you lost yourself. You dimmed your light to make others comfortable. You silenced your voice to avoid conflict. You minimized your gifts to avoid threatening insecure people. But I am bringing you back to your original design. I am stripping away every false identity. I am removing every mask you wore to please people. I am peeling back every layer that was added by the expectations of others. And what is underneath? What I am revealing is the real you. The you I created, the you I called, the you I anointed, the you that does not need validation from anyone because you are validated by me. The you that does not chase approval because you already have my approval. The you that does not fear rejection because you cannot be rejected by the one who formed you in the womb. This is who you are. And the removal of people was necessary so you could remember, when you are surrounded by people, it is easy to lose yourself in the noise of their voices. It is easy to confuse their opinions with truth. It is easy to let their perceptions shape your self-image. But when I remove them, when I create silence around you, when I leave you alone with me, that is when you hear my voice clearly for the first time. That is when you begin to see yourself the way I see you. That is when you begin to walk in the confidence of your calling, not because people affirm it, but because I confirmed it. So many of you have been waiting for people to see you, to recognize you, to celebrate you. But I'm telling you, stop waiting for human recognition. It will never satisfy you the way my recognition does. Stop seeking their applause. It is temporary and conditional. Stop needing their affirmation. It is based on what you can do for them. But my affirmation is eternal. My applause is based on who you are, not what you produce. My recognition is rooted in my love, which never changes, never wavers, never fails. The isolation you have experienced has been painful, yes. But it has also been productive. It has forced you to confront the parts of yourself you are avoiding. It has brought you face to face with your fears, your insecurities, your doubts. And in that confrontation, I have been there not to condemn you, but to heal you. Not to shame you, but to strengthen you. Not to reject you, but to restore you. Every tear you cried in secret, I collected. Every prayer you whispered in the dark, I heard. Every moment you felt alone, I was there, closer than your breath, holding you together when you thought you were falling apart. And now you are stronger, you are wiser, you are more rooted. You are no longer desperate for companionship because you have learned to enjoy my company. You are no longer afraid of solitude because you have discovered that solitude with me is better than crowds without me. You are no longer begging people to stay because you have learned that I never leave. This is the transformation I have been working in you, and it could not have happened if they had stayed. You are not who they said you were. You are who I say you are, and I say you are chosen. I say you are set apart. I say you are anointed. I say you are protected. I say you are guided. I say you are destined for greatness. And no person who left, no relationship that ended, no friendship that faded can change that, because your calling is not in the hands of people. It is in my hands, and I never let go. So lift your head, wipe your tears, stop mourning the exits, and start preparing for the entrances. Because I did not clear your life to leave it empty. I cleared it to fill it with purpose, with power, with peace, and with people who are truly aligned with where you are going. Trust the removal, trust the process, trust me. I have never failed you, and I never will. Let me give you one final truth to carry with you. The people I removed were not your enemies. They were simply not your assignment. And there is a profound difference. An enemy seeks to destroy you. A misalignment simply occupies space that does not belong to them. Most of the people who left your life were not bad people. They were just not your people. They were not sent by me to accompany you to your destination. They were sent for a season, for a region, for a lesson. And when that season ended, when that region was fulfilled, when that lesson was learned, I called them out. Not in anger, but in order. Some of you need to release the narrative that you are betrayed. You are not betrayed, you are released. Some of you need to let go of the story that you are wronged. You are not wronged, you are redirected. The pain you felt was real, but the meaning you assigned to it was misguided. You thought their departure meant you are not enough, but it actually meant they were not assigned. You thought their exit meant you failed, but it actually meant their season expired. You thought their absence meant you were unlovable, but it actually meant you were being prepared for a love that would not leave. I need you to reframe the narrative. Stop seeing yourself as the victim of people's choices. Start seeing yourself as the beneficiary of my protection. Stop replaying the hurt. Start rehearsing the truth. The truth is, I have been fighting for you in ways you cannot see. I have been blocking attacks you are not even aware of. I have been rerouting your steps away from destruction and toward destiny. And every person who walked away, they walked away because I made it uncomfortable for them to stay. I disturbed the false peace. I exposed the hidden motives. I revealed the incompatibility. And then I made the separation so clean, so final, that there would be no room for confusion. Now I want to speak to those of you who are afraid to trust again. You are afraid that if you open your heart, people will leave again. You are afraid that if you invest in new relationships, you will be disappointed again. You are afraid that if you believe in connection, you will be abandoned again. But I am telling you, do not let the pain of the past rob you of the promise of the future. Do not let what they did determine what I will do. I am not like people. I do not leave. I do not betray. I do not abandon. And the people I send will carry my nature. They will be faithful because I am faithful. They will be loyal because I am loyal. They will stay because I have assigned them to stay. But you must be willing to trust again. You must be willing to open your heart again. You must be willing to believe again, not naively, but wisely, not desperately, but discerningly, not out of need, but out of readiness. I am preparing you to receive well. I am teaching you to recognize the difference between divine connections and human attractions. I am training your spirit to sense who is from me and who is from the world. And when the right ones come, you will know, not because they are perfect, but because they are purposeful. Not because they meet all your needs, but because they align with my will. Some of you have been asking me, God, when will I find my people? And I answer you now, you will find them when you stop looking for them and start looking for me. You will find them when you stop chasing connection and start chasing my presence. You will find them when your identity is so rooted in me that you no longer need them to complete you, but you are ready to complement them. The right people do not come to fill a void. They come to add value. They do not come to fix you. They come to build with you. They do not come because you are incomplete. They come because you are ready. And you are almost ready. The isolation has done its work. The silence has shaped your spirit. The solitude has solidified your foundation. You are not the same person you were when they left. You are stronger, wiser, deeper, purer. You have been refined by fire, tested by time, and proven by patience. And now you are emerging, not bitter, but better. Not broken, but built. Not wounded, but whole. And the world is about to see what I have been building in the secret place.